So we want to obviously cover off a few bits and pieces. Just make sure you're okay with game style and what we want to do. So we'll cover off, as I said, a couple of little bits and pieces we want to do and get a bit of feedback from you guys as well. So first up, welcome and congrats. And I know we've done breakfast this morning. We all sort of wandered through. So now it's time to switch to game time mode. So you're in game time now. So as far as prep to now, perfect. Exactly how we want you to prep. Get to know each other really well. We know what we want to do. I think you have a pretty good understanding of the way we want to play. It's now just a matter of flipping that focus away from having fun, coming together as a group, to actually turning it on for whatever it's 2 hours of sort of footy that we're going to have together. Turn it on and make sure we represent your clubs, your families, and each other really well. So that's what today's all about. So first up, massive thanks to Bomber, who's here. Obviously, it's an emergency. Massive thing to do, and I know all of you are aware and how difficult it was to actually land that final 23 that played today. It wasn't an easy task for our coaching group at all, and you could have picked any one of probably 28 blokes that could have actually filled a side, and it takes a fair bit of courage and commitment, mate, to turn up, so I really appreciate it. That's fantastic. So highlight all that into our game week. So this is the stuff that we talked about as a group on Tuesday night. And I'll come back to this in a second when we get to final points. But your objectives that you wanted to achieve through the week, your player objectives, get around each other, wholesome. I'm still probably not 100% certain of what the wholesome definition means from you guys. And there's a bit of an age gap and a bit of a variance in that sort of space. I might have to ask Ollie later if there's an emoji or anything that goes with wholesome. We'll work that out later on. But I think as a group, you've come together really well. We've had some stories sort of shared. I'm not going to actually broadcast that now, Skipper, because I can't sort of say what I was going to say because Amy's in the background filming. But we learn a little bit about each other. So there's a few things there with L shapes and things like that we learned about during the week. So I might not go into it too much for the film, but I think this wholesome part and learn something part of it, you've actually achieved those really well as a group. And even this morning, I could sort of see there sitting at breakfast, there's different blokes sort of talking to guys about what they do pre-match. Different sort of routines, different sort of stuff with the hydrolyte sort of stuff that people were doing. There was other caffeine sort of tablets and other things that people were rolling with. Some blokes don't eat, some blokes do eat, different things that people do. So I think there's learnings that have come right from the start of our training sort of session. So I'll come back to this, as I said. So over on this sort of board, match focus is what I'm going to start with. I'm going to go to housekeeping and come down to game style. So match focus, obviously no limits. We want you guys to shine and show us what you can do. Okay? When I say that, we want you to stay between some flags. I've written there, put between the swim flags, stay between the swim flags. Basically, what that means, we want you to take the game on and we want to show what you're capable of doing. They'll be doing the same thing. We want you to shine and show us what your best footy is. Sorry, I'm falling on my headset. However, we don't want you to torture your teammates. Okay, so that's the swim flag sort of part. Let's make sure that if you want to take the game on, you want to come down the wing and you want to take 6-7 bounces, fine, if there's no one to give it to. Okay, let's make sure we play as a team, and that's what this has all been. The whole week to build you up was to come together as a collective unit. Okay, so that's the way we want to play, but no limits. Okay, if it's there, take the game on. Okay, we don't want you to be dour and lockdown, all that kind of stuff. We want you to take the game on. Okay, and I'll cover that in a second as well. So housekeeping, just a couple of bits and pieces there. Stand rule in play today, so the umpires will be on it. VAFA don't play the stand rule. Okay, so there's an advantage there for us in that space. So at senior footy in Bendigo, we do. Senior umpires from Bendigo and VAFA are umpiring as well. So that'll be interesting, the interpretation of that. If we can get a little advantage in that space, take it. Okay, take that little advantage. You know that they've got to stand there, take that advantage, run at that mark, handball it off to a runner that takes it beside you. You know what you can actually do in that sort of space. From the first bounce, communication going to need to be really, really clear from white and yellow in this space. So the magnets down here, which we'll cover off in a second, white and yellow need to be really clear. Ingo and Mel, that first bounce, we want you to come full noise from half back straight through the centre square. Okay? That's not getting posted until after the game. So you're going to come full noise, straight from half back, straight through the centre square. The wingers, so the yellow magnets that are actually there, Tobes and Jake, make sure you flow around and cover their men at half forward just for the start of it. Okay, as they come back, they'll go back to playing half back and they'll cover their men back off. But I want those two blokes to come through and come at different times. So we've actually got a layer behind the ball. So effectively they're going to shoot through here. layer behind the ball that we can go back to. Mids, you can work that out. But the wingers start defensive side and filter back and cover their opponents. Make sense? Yep. All right, so that, if we continue to do it throughout the day, it just needs to be communication between that white magnet and the yellow magnet. Okay, so if you've got a winger directly in front of you and you're going to do it from half back and you're going to come off, communicate with that winger in front so he knows that his role at that stoppage is to get back. Okay, don't go if the winger doesn't know that he's not going to cover you. Because as soon as you go and the winger stays with his man, the half forward's by himself out on the corner of the QEO and they get used. Okay, so you just need to make sure you communicate that really well. If it works, we'll get rovers out there and communicate that we can do it again. If it doesn't work, just go back to your normal conventional sort of style. Halftime break, need feedback from you guys. So we've got 5 minutes at quarter time, 5 minutes at three-quarter time. We've got 10 minutes at halftime. Do you want to come in? You do? Okay. So you've got to run in. So make sure you get your huddle this side. Don't go over to where we are on the other side. So you get 25 minutes is the quarter. So I'm not going to tell you to start moving over there at 24 minutes because we play right till the 25-minute mark. But make sure you're over this side of the ground and you come off. Okay, together as a group. Come in. We'll talk to you in that last 2 minutes before you do go back out. So there won't be too much of a message. The coaches will get around individually to players that we need to get around to. And it'll just be a quick little message from us. Then out we go again. We probably won't come back in this room. Okay, we'll stay out there. Just a quick little round one and out we go. Okay, but yeah, if you want to come back in, all of you make that call now. That's what we do. On the side, pretty simple. I'm going to see, so ground level, Bromie and I ground level. Other coaches are up in the box. We'll have communication directly with them throughout the day. So they'll feed some stuff back down. We'll monitor some statistics, which we'll give to you at quarter time, half time, three-quarter time, give you an idea where we're going, what we need to do. Rotation-wise, we'll rotate it from the bench, but what we've actually got as far as the setup goes, straight through your backs down. I'm not going to read the side out because it's on you guys now at this level to actually understand where you are, where your magnet is, where you're playing. Hopefully I've got the spelling right. I think we've got one number wrong. Ollie, you might be a little bit higher than 18. I think the number you're wearing today, but it was 18 earlier in the week. So backs, orange magnets will work together, so we'll probably call it at around about 5-6 minute mark, get a rotation through. Most of those sort of areas will do that. We'll work out how that goes based on matchups. Halfbacks are going through the middle as well, so Chamber's the mid in there at the moment. King, you'll come through that mid-halfback sort of rotation as well from the interchange. So all of you guys there will go through. Again, we'll give you a bit of a squirt down on the bench. Red magnets, a fair few rolling through that red magnet. I'll talk to you guys individually before we start. So Jimmy and Nev, Moz, Jed and Arch, we'll make sure we'll talk to all you guys directly before the start of the game and just work out how we do that, but there'll be a swing to the bench if you need it. Most blokes will get through their bench at least for a couple of minutes. It's 25 minutes flat, so if you get to the bench, it's only going to be a really sort of short time frame there, and it needs to be led a little bit by you guys as well. So if you are coming off, I don't want to keep bringing the same bloke on and off. That's not what we're trying to do. You're going to get an even amount of game time, but those magnets are set up so it'll actually work that sort of way through. Triangle setup, forward setups there. Joey, if you need to spell it all, you're going to have to communicate with us as well. You let us know how you're going. Okay, if you do need that spell, Shaq will send you through. Handy to bring another monster into the team, mate. So that's fantastic to have you here to be able to go through. It'll only be a pinch hit if Joey needs it. So again, communicate with us, see how you're going. 25 flat, so you'll know, be able to work that out as well. We can get out and talk to you as we go through. So game style, I said, don't want to hold you up too long here. Open man, use the open man. Everybody. And that goes back to what you've sort of said over here, get around each other. That style of footy, we want to make sure everyone's involved. Use the open guy that's there. If you take a 45, so if you do pull a 45 kick, make sure we get a runner off it. Okay, so if you go a 45, a short 45, make sure we get a runner off that spot and attack from there. Okay, and it doesn't just have to be give it to the bloke running past and he kicks. It's got to be give it to that bloke running past. It might be a second and a third give before we actually enter the footy in the forward 50. Okay, but make sure you give off that 45. If it comes to that spot, handball off it, away we go. Don't blast. We've got a forward setup that we're going to talk to, I think in a second. It's down there in the forward triangle. I've written don't blast twice. There you go. Obviously that was a fair emphasis. Get rid of that one.
Just on the 45 runner there,
yep.
know that we've got 5 on the bench. Yeah, so gash yourself. And there's only 25-minute quarters. A lot of blokes in the room who are playing senior footy, you've got 30-plus minute quarters. So you're going to have some left in the tank. We want you to empty out. Yeah, we've got 5 on the bench. We'll rotate through. So if you think, do I not go up this one? We want you to go. Yeah, we want you to take the game on. We want you to be there for that handball receive. That's a key stat for us to count. Yep,
and that's spot on too. And that's the difference in this sort of group where you're playing at clubland. Sometimes you're actually going to need to conserve some energy for that last quarter. Whether you're playing senior footy now, whether you're coming through your 18 sort of system, you know that sometimes you need to hold a little bit of energy left for the end. hold nothing back. Hold nothing back. There's 5 blokes on that interchange for a reason, and all of them can play. Hold nothing back. Throw everything at it when you're out in the field. Kick-ins, just quickly. Your 4 options: fast, 45. Dream's the one we're going to start with. Okay, and we'll talk to that. I think everybody understands what that one is, and we'll make sure that's set up right from the start. And then the pocket if you need it. Don't blast, I've written there. Forward triangle. Brother, do you want to sort of highlight anything for the group in that forward triangle?
Not really. We'll change the forward group, but just for the rest of you, just know we're always going to have someone on that far wing set up in our triangle. So if the ball's on this side of the ground, there's going to be a player set up on the other side. So if we do have to go into a bit of a controlled phase and chip back around, then we'll be an outlet over there.
Yep.
But hit that danger spot where we hit on Friday night. That was good.
I think what I liked the most when we actually saw it too working, I think it was on the Wednesday night, there was a couple of blokes that weren't afraid to actually pull the trigger. I think, J-Mac, when you got it here a couple of times, you sort of marked it around about this spot and knew that other bloke was going to be there on the other side and pulled the trigger sort of straight across because he's filtering down in the triangle. Don't be afraid to pull that trigger. Okay, you're all great players at Clubland, and you will be here today as well. Take it on. Take that chance. Okay. In one way, out the other. Obviously, with a little bit of system with this too. We don't want you to just get the ball and go, okay, it's come this side of the ground. We're just going to blast it out the other side. Okay, no. We want you to take the game on as much as you possibly can, but again, stay between the flags. Understand that that's a waste of a kick. If you're just going to boot it the other side and they're going to get possession and have a shot at goal, don't go that fast. Okay, that's the time to slow up. You can control on Wednesday night or Friday night. Friday night, I think it was during the week, when we're going around and around in a circle, very few blokes actually held it up. Okay, you can hold it up and still play the way that we want to play. Okay, final sort of stuff. Make it fun. You guys picked this one as well, and I don't think I've written it up over there. Rowdy was what you wanted to be. Okay, so as you turn on from here, you've got plenty of game time. You've got plenty of time to get yourself ready. So it's 25 past 10 now. We'll probably be finished in here in 5 minutes. Got to be out in the ground at 11:08. So there's a pre-match sort of stuff out in the ground. You've all read the run sheet. You know what's actually part of that. Now's the time to get rowdy from here. Okay. So final part. I want you to tick the objectives. You've got get around each other. I'm going to tick that one. We've already got that one. Wholesome. As I said, learn a little bit about each other. We're being pretty wholesome. I think I've got that definition right. J-Mac might have to actually tell us exactly what that was. I think it was his that he wrote up there. Learn something. I've got no doubt, as I said before, you've all learnt something. It's these two. Take the game on, and I think the best part of being part of Bendigo Interleague is that unsociable part. And I'm really glad you guys picked that as something that you can actually use as a bit of a mantra going into this. Okay, that means that you're in their faces from start to finish. And if you're rowdy and you're in their faces from start to finish and you're in the contest, big chance you take the chocolate to the end of the day. Okay, which is what we want to do. We want to celebrate that. That's what we're trying to do from start to finish. Never again, I've written this here, never again will you play with the blokes that are in this room. Never again. Okay, as much as you want to, it will never happen again. You will never run out with the same blokes that are in this group. As much as we want that to happen, it's not ever going to happen. Okay, who knows what the future holds for you blokes? I hope you play Bendigo footy for a hell of a long time and end up playing in that senior side that's after this. That's the objective of this under-19 sort of setup, that you get a chance and you filter through and play senior footy here at Bendigo. However, you will never play with the other blokes that are in this room together. So if you go back on everything we've done since we come together as a group, that's something to play for in itself. Okay, you know each other well enough now, and you're going to know each other really well by the time it gets started and it's out there in the heat of battle. You'll never get that chance to play with the bloke next to you. You might get the chance to play with the bloke next to you, but not everybody in the room. Okay, that's a huge thing. Make it a great memory. And the absolute final point before I let you guys go, and we get rowdy out there with music on and get yourselves ready, take it away from them. They want it. They want to win. Their Prem side got done yesterday, so it's a big year for the VAFA, 100-year celebration, whatever it is. They want to come here and they want to win. They've picked their premier, best 19 side in all of that Melbourne footy. Take it away from them. Only one side can take it. You guys be the side that takes it. Okay?